let us go to Cung in a matter of moments, who has entered the news cycle as of late because Ed Soares, the manager of Anderson Silva, said that he wants to fight, or at least he wants Anderson Silva to fight Cung next. Of course, Anderson Silva's next fight, very much a topic in the MMA news world these days. People talking Chris Weidman, some other people talking Luke Rockhold, although it seems like he's fighting Vitor Belfort next. Others mentioning Cung. So we wanted to have him on the show to find out why he deserves to fight Anderson Silva next. And we have him right now. Going to line one. The great Cung is standing by. Cung, how are you?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Oh, there he is. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes.
I could hear you.
Well, it's great to have you on the show. We haven't talked to you since your big knockout win over Rich Franklin in Macau. Are you off the high of that win? Because that was something else, my friend.
Yes, I'm back down to earth now.
Was that the greatest moment of your career?
That was one of the greatest moments of my career. Yes.
One of? What was better than that? Frank Shamrock?
Yeah, Frank Shamrock.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Was the second. Yeah.
How long did you celebrate for the knockout?
Actually, I just got home and enjoyed spending time with my kids and my wife, and just took them to Disneyland and Universal Studios.
That's awesome. That sounds like the best celebration possible.
Yes, it was.
How was Macau? Did it treat you well? Did you like it over there?
I didn't really get a chance to do anything except, make weight and, be focused for the fight. So next time I go back, I'll definitely, take my little tour in Hong Kong and enjoy a little bit.
Now, honestly, how close, and you can tell us honestly because the fight's over, you looked amazing, you scored a knockout. How close to 100% were you? Because just watching you, it didn't feel like you were anywhere close to 100%.
Well, like I say, about a month before the fight, I was sparring and I kicked one of my fighters in the head and my foot swelled up. But then 6 weeks before the fight, I was having some like elbow issues where a bone spur must have fell into a crease and it locked up my elbow, and I got surgery 6 weeks before the fight. But it worked out great. I just because I trained so hard, and the time that I had to take off, after the surgery, it actually helped out, for my recovery and just letting my body rest so I don't overtrain for the fight.
So now, late last week, Ed Soares, the manager of Anderson Silva, said that he thinks the fight that makes the most sense for Anderson next is you. Were you surprised by this?
I was definitely surprised by it, and I'm honored by it, and I'm that's why I'm I guess answering these questions, right?
Yeah. So do you think there's a chance of this fight happening?
If the UFC wants me to fight, then I think after our discussion, I'm totally open for it.
Are you ready to fight someone like Anderson? Do you feel like you are healthy enough, like you are, in the right kind of shape, mindset, etc.? I mean, he is the champion. He's the greatest of all time, many people believe.
Well, I wouldn't be ready for him tomorrow or next couple of weeks, but if I have the proper amount of time to train and and get in the right mindset, then let's do it.
It seems like this is campaign season to see who will get the Anderson Silva fight. I mean, I saw Scott Coker, who never goes on Twitter, tweeting on your behalf last night, trying to get you the fight. Will you try, or at least your managers, try to call up the UFC and say, hey, I mean, we want this fight. He doesn't have anyone. Give it to us.
You know what? Actually, I didn't do any campaigning. My name got thrown in the, into the mix, and I'm, like I said, I'm honored by it. But whatever happens from here, it's gonna be up to Anderson. It's gonna be up to the UFC, and for me, I'm just I'm open to it, and I'm excited to hear that my name's in the mix. There's there's things that a martial artist, for me being a martial artist, I still would like to do, and one is coach on a season of tough. If this all worked out like this was like the, what I would want is like coach on a season, because I love to teach, and I still teach today at my gym, and then having a fight with Anderson would be awesome. But if it doesn't happen, there's, I'm okay with that. I mean, I never threw my name in the mix, but I'm open to it.
So we asked Dana White about this on Saturday after UFC on Fox 6. I want to read you what he said, okay?
Okay.
He said, "This is typical Anderson Silva, Ed Soares craziness. Every effing time there's a fight, he wants to fight, I don't know, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. Then he wants to effing fight this guy and that guy. This is always the same deal. It always happens. I absolutely will not fight Chael Sonnen. He doesn't deserve the title, and I'm not doing this and that, and I'm not doing this and that. This is what we do. We're waiting on something. We'll see if it pans out. When we're ready to announce it, we'll announce it. He will defend the title. It won't be a super fight." That was in response to Ed calling you out. Does that make you feel like you're not getting this fight?
You know what? I don't know. I actually don't keep up with all the media because it's too crazy, and plus, with three crazy boys, I'm running around, keeping them from hurting each other. So it is what it is.
Will you be disappointed now if you don't get this fight?
For me, I don't mind either way. I'm just happy that I'm in the mix. There's a lot of great fighters out there. Chris and Luke Rockhold is like another name that people should watch out for. And I'm open for whatever. Whether it's fighting, coaching, or doing movies.
Why does it seem like everyone who's in the mix to fight Anderson is the nicest guy in the world? You, Chris, Luke. No one wants to come out and say, I will beat this guy. I want this guy, like Chael did, and he got 2 fights against him. Why can't anyone do that?
Well, maybe that's, our personality, and like, for me, I think people know me good enough to be, I don't, talk smack, and
sure.
If I ever had to, I would probably have to hire Chael to help me out with that. But I leave all my talking, and I leave it inside the octagon, and if the fight would ever happen, I wouldn't be scared, because he's pound for pound the best fighter in the world. I actually would be excited, and I would want to see how I do, whether I get beat up or it doesn't matter. That's why we compete. That's why we challenge ourselves. That's what makes us who we are. And I love the challenge, and it's awesome to be in this conversation with you.
Wow. It's awesome to be in this conversation with you as well. How do you beat Anderson Silva? How does Cung Le beat Anderson Silva?
Stick and move and go after him. Look for, don't fight to survive. Fight to win.
Now, how many more years on your career did the Rich Franklin knockout give you? Because it seems like now, maybe after the Vanderlei Silva fight, we were talking about, Cung, maybe a couple fights left. You're 40 years old. You just knocked out Rich Franklin. I mean, are you sticking around like Randy Couture did well into his 40s?
I don't think not as long as Randy Couture. I think his last fight was 45, right? 46, correct me if I'm wrong.
I think it was like 47 off the top of my head.
Oh, 47. Yeah, I'm 40, but I don't know at this point. I definitely, after a win like this, I still feel like I have some fight left in me, but I'm taking it one day at a time. And there's a lot of other things happening too. I got some big movie projects lining up, and I'm at that point where I'm gonna continue training and being prepared for a big fight. And if it doesn't work out, then I have movies to fall back on.
What big movie plans are we talking about? Anything you can share?
I can't share anything yet, but there's like 3 of them. So.
Oh, wow. 3. So if you want, I mean, what's interesting? Like Gina Carano, she retired essentially, not unofficially, because she went into the movie world. You do both. Why do you need to get punched in the face and get hurt and all that? Why don't you just go do the movies?
Well, look, I enjoy competing. I don't enjoy getting punched in the face, but it's this is where it's like my root. I started out as a martial artist, so I'm a martial artist first, and I just love to compete. And if I walk away from it, I feel like I've accomplished a lot. But I feel like if there's an opportunity for a big fight or to coach a tough show, and then I would totally be all over it. But in the meantime, I'm able to do both. I had my movie, The Man with the Iron Fist, open the week before the fight, and I was help promoting it up until like 2 weeks before my fight. So I feel blessed that I'm able to do both, and now I'm actually getting into producing some of my own movies, and I got some backing. I got a great team around me, and then I'll be able to do the things that I want to do in the film without having the handcuffs of a different producer or a studio making things difficult on me. So there's a lot of opportunities for me, but at the same time, if I can do them all, I'll do them all, and I'll keep going that way until one has to give.
So are you saying that if you don't get a big fight, you may not fight again?
No, I
Okay.
didn't say that. I just said I'll be able to do both until something gives.
Sure. Okay. Well, that's good to hear. Now, give us why don't you, we have this forum here. Give us the pitch. Why should you be the man to fight Anderson next? Why you, not Chris Weidman? Why you, not Luke Rockhold, Vitor Belfort? Why Cung Le?
Well, I think, one, like, I know Vitor's name was thrown in there, but, like Anderson, I think in the top 10 has beaten, 3 or 4 of the guys. And, there's fresh, opponents to pick from. There's a Chris, there's a Luke, and, there's me, which all of our names been thrown in the hat. And, it's up to him to decide. So whoever he chooses, and if it can be worked out with UFC, then great. If it isn't, then, I wish the other competitors the best against Anderson. And I believe that Chris or Luke will definitely give Anderson a run for his money. And I feel like if I'm in there, because I believe in myself, I can give him a run too. So that's I don't really have a pitch, just my name was thrown in the hat. And if people, if the UFC wants to see it, then, they'll see a pretty awesome stand-up fight. And that's all I can offer. It's not like I'm going to try to take Anderson down and, give him some, like omoplatas and stuff. So,
I was kind of looking
it is
forward
what
to
it
that.
is.
Were you sad to see Strikeforce go away?
I was definitely, a little bit sad. But
you didn't cry
life
about it.
goes on, and I maybe just a little bit.
All right. Well, good luck getting the fight, Cung. Good luck. I know this kind of came out of the blue. Dana kind of squashed it, but who knows? Maybe the people get behind you, and he is a man of the people. Maybe you get the fight.
I think, it's in the UFC's hands and in God's hands, and whatever happens, I'm okay with.
And by the way, good luck with the Grandmaster.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, you see, I sometimes I pretend like I don't know, but I really know.
Yeah, I'm sure you got a closet full of Shaw Brother movies too, huh?
Of course. I mean, who doesn't? Cung, always a pleasure. Congratulations. First time talking to you since the Rich Franklin win. So congratulations on that. It's a little late, I know, but it's definitely coming from a good place nonetheless. And good luck getting the fight. Looking forward to seeing what you do next, inside the cage and outside the cage.
Thank you very much.
There he is. The man himself, Cung Le, joining us, giving us his pitch, sort of, why he deserves the Anderson Silva fight. All right, that does it for the interviews today, but we got plenty more show left. We got to get to Rick's picks. We got to get to questions. But first, it has been brought to my attention, gentlemen in the back, that we had a bit of a tech issue during our Tito Ortiz interview, which is great timing. Maybe one of our most anticipated interviews of all time. What exactly happened?
Internet went down. Unavoidable. But we will have replays of the interview up.
How long was it down for?
maybe 5 minutes.
Whoa. Which portion? Was it while we were squashing the beef, or what was it while
No,
we were
you're-
talking Ronda and all that?
Yeah, your beef was sufficiently squashed.
Okay. Why does it sound like you are in a cave right now?
We had the speakers on back here.
Oh, okay.
Now they're down.
It's it's not a real well-oiled machine back there today. I've been getting a lot of complaints about the internet, or at least the stream, all show long. Why is that? I'm just trying to keep you guys on your toes, keep you honest, as they say. That's it? No response? I feel like Buzzkill wants to chime in here. I mean, essentially, I am calling him out, but he's nowhere to be found.
Hey there.
Oh.
So yeah, we had an unfortunate internet outage. We're trying to investigate the root cause right now, but actually on Twitter we're seeing a lot of people with internet outages. So it could in fact be a Time Warner issue. I would love to toss the blame on them, but it also could be something related to our network. We're dealing with shared broadband, which is not the best internet at this studio. But good news is, ladies and gentlemen, we're moving to a new studio.
Oh.
And we're going to have dedicated internet there. We're going to be streaming in HD, so there are good things on the horizon for sure. So sorry about the issues today, and we're going to work to improve them, and we'll be streaming in amazing HD in about a month, I would say.
And there's also good news. If you missed any portion of the show, there will be a replay, right? The replay wasn't affected.
Yeah, it's good. The replay was affected because of the stream, so we have we're going to have a 2-part replay coming up.
Oh, interesting.
One of the second part of the show and one of the first part of the show, which we're actually cutting right now. So we actually have to probably upload the first replay. So we might have the second part of the show available right away, and then the first part of the show will come shortly after.
Why can't it just be one long clip like usual?
Because actually the replay recording happens on the server. So because of the internet issue, the data wasn't getting to the server to be recorded. So we weren't sending out the stream to the public, and it wasn't getting recorded on live streams end. Unfortunately, but yeah.
But you don't lose any portion. It's just cut into 2 interviews.
Right.
Like no portion of the show will be lost. You just have to click on 2 videos.
Exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. And we have everything recorded, so we didn't lose anything. Just the first part of it is likely going to be slower than usual in making it up to the internet.
Gotcha. Well, that's weird to put the second part up before the first part. No.
It is a little weird
because
but,
it's
the
gonna happen.
Is to wait for.
It's gonna be the cut point is probably gonna be in the middle of the Tito interview.
Yeah,
right.
So we could trim it to after the Tito interview if we wanted a clean.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess we could discuss that off air. What do you think?
It's probably a good idea. I don't know how interested people are in that.
Well, listen, if someone didn't mess it up, we wouldn't be having this discussion, right?
Can we blame it on Time Warner? I think
sure.
That'd be
fair.
Fun. Great for all of us.
People are asking, can Buzzkill be any more lively? They they want to know if you can just step it up. Buzzkill sounds a bit like Nate Diaz.
Hey, that's why I'm named Buzzkill. I got the monotone voice. I'm constantly just trying to rain on everyone's parade.
That is true.
And it's actually my fault that the internet went out. If I were to admit that.
Man,
sorry guys.
How boring is Buzzkill Brendan? Holy cow. It's time to get rid of Buzzkill. He's making too many excuses. You know what, guys? You're saying, I mean, listen, you have a long-standing feud with someone for, a 2-year period. It's promoted heavily. You do what you try to do, and then kaput. Middle of the interview, I'm distracted. Everyone's distracted. Someone else says he sounds like the Clear Eyes guy. I don't know who that is.
The Ben Stein.
Oh, yes. Ben
Clear
Stein.
Eyes.
All right. Well, I guess that's that.